Well, I don't think we have enough, and that is why, many private institutions are propping up because the government are not funding the ones that are there because, the government doesn't have the fund anymore. I mean, I remember, my secondary school is a public school. Most of what has been done in those schools and many other schools like that are funded by those that have completed as an ex-student. So we continue to make sure that we look after the school, and this is meant to be the work of the government. But like I said, the government have not invested so much in education. And like you said, when Buhari was there, 8 months shutdown of the institution allow many Nigerians to travel to many other countries to continue their education. Many Nigerians will not be able to travel to UK and Canada because we're talking about thousands and thousands of pounds sterling. Before you can complete a degree at Wales University, you're looking at almost £43,000 minus school feeding, minus accommodation. And like I said, even those that are not coming to study, those that are coming as a care worker, they are going to be paying a lot of money. We talked about it yesterday. The question is, what can Africa do to make sure that we cannot bring the drains out of Africa? We can keep them there, but we must have the standard welfare, the standard education. But most importantly, if we do not have the proper security, we will have problems. And that is what I'm going to be discussing tonight on Niger Voices. Insecurity 2024. Is it all about the resources, or is it an agenda to wipe people away from their community? This is something that we are concerned about, and we'll be looking into that later on Niger Voices on Star Radio UK. Well, I did monitor that before joining you. Nothing of such at the moment, but I'm sure by evening time, we'll be having a reaction from those that are Biafra and the government in exile of the Biafra as well. And I'll be reporting on that later on the Niger Voices at 1800 hours. Thank you so much. Bye for now. Well, sorry, we were having a very, very, it seems that extra secure. Oh, no sound. Okay, why is there no sound? Valo Joe says there's no sound. Why is there no sound? Okay, there's no sound. Okay, I'm coming. I'm going to check that. There's a lot of frictions right here. There's a lot of happenings behind. But there's a lot of noise coming out there. And it seems the weather is raining as well. So bear with us. Ma check it. Let's see again. Valo Joe, bear with me. Let me first move things back because let me end that and bring back the video again. Can you still hear me? I'm not sure if you can still hear me. If you're not hearing me, let me know. That is for those of you on the Instagram on OLAYOMI KOIKI. A very good morning and welcome once again. It's just coming up to almost 12. The weather again in UK is raining. We are live at number 10 Downing Street, where we are reporting again this morning. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. Lori YouTube, Lori Instagram. If you cannot hear me, please, I need a backup team to quickly check on that so that we can confirm whether there's a sound coming out of the Instagram. So that if not, I'm going to stop it and then come back in again. Let me check myself. I say good morning as we continue our campaign and our quest, as we continue to ask questions. Many Nigerians might not know that this is where the whole amalgamation started, UK, the colonial rules, and it's been going on for the last 110 years. What do we do? How do we stop it? This is part of what we're going to be discussing for the next couple of hours. Like I said, I cannot even move out of here because it's raining at the moment. I could see the London Eye just about a few meters away from me. I'll be showing you that later on. If I bring the camera like this, you will probably be able to see the London Eye. That is right there. It's just, it's raining. So it's, what's it, rain, go away. So, Moki Bugwale can see, I say good morning. And like I said, let me see if I can hear myself right now. Okay, now the sound is back. You can hear me now. I'm sure the sound is back. So I just had myself. Let me move my laptop because a lè afford ká tó máa jẹ́ kójò wá pa àwọn machine wa tá gbé jáde. Àìtí ní, we're still trying to raise money to buy more. So the last thing we want is to have the ones that we are managing to be affected by the weather. Once again, I say good morning and a welcome to my transmission, where we are live at number 10 Downing Street, which is equivalent to White House. Okay? We'll be discussing a couple of things again, just as we do every time, while the weather is still doing its own at the back. I hope we're doing very well. Once again, as we say all the time, the right to self-determination is not something that you joke with. It is something that you ask for, and it is something you continue to talk about. So we should not be shy to talk about the right to self-determination. Once again, this and so many of you might probably not know, Tabani, Nigeria did not just started one day. It is a project that was put together. Let me take off my AirPod. I can feel the stop. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Don't run away. Nigeria started because during the colonial era, or the colonial, they wanted Nigeria for their own reasons. Many of you today that still want us to keep Nigeria probably don't have a clue that the country called Nigeria is something that was merged by those that do not understand themselves, doesn't speak the same language, doesn't respect themselves, because every time there's these problems that we are still facing on a daily basis. And I'm going to be explaining that again this morning in my transmission. I just want to get my beautiful small little speaker out so that we can be able to tell you that the insecurity in Nigeria is not going to stop, because the Boko Haram continue to create havoc. They continue to kill many Nigerians. Many people in Plateau State, we're talking about over 300 people were massacred, killed in Plateau State. The international community have kept quiet. They're not saying much about it. The United Nations is not saying anything about the genocide happening with the Biafra. The Yorubas have been massacred by the same marauders as well. So this morning, we're going to remind you, just as we've been saying continuously, that the only solution right now, just as the Scottish people wants to be free from the bondage that they are in, we must also say the same thing. We don't want to be part of Nigeria. But what do we do? How do we do that? Is it just something that we are going to start and then say we've not completed? No, it has to be completed. It will take a lot of work. Let me play this again just to remind us, like I said yesterday, Oloye, Dr. Sunday Omoadeyemo Igboho, and also Professor Adebanji Akitoye, for waking the minds of many of us that the Nigeria that we know in 1960 is not the Nigeria that we know today. It has become a big problem. Many of you have seen a video that is now circulating. I will try to play that video as well. I'm sure some of you have heard about that video, you've seen it. But let's start with this. This is what T.Y. Danjuma said some few years back.
There's an attempt at ethnic cleansing in this state, of course, in all the riverine states of Nigeria. We must resist. We must stop it. Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral.
You hear that?
They collude.
They were collude already.
They collude.
With the armed bandits.
They collude with the armed bandits.
Okay.
They kill people.
And they're still killing Nigerians.
They facilitate their movement.
Okay.
They cover them.
Okay.
If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
And that has still been the same thing. I mean, you know, we've looked at just before Christmas, literally over 300 people have been massacred and they're still killing them. But what is the reason behind it? What is the agenda? Is there an agenda for the resources? Is it just something? Good morning, MX Media. Thank you so much, Daniel Oyede. Good morning, Mr. Ogumola Abiodun, Comrade Plan B, Tokyo 778. Good morning to my mother. Good morning to those of you that have joined us. Remember to share the broadcast. Bring as many people in so that they can understand the reason why we are asking for the Yoruba nation, so that we can leave Nigeria, so that we can be safe, we can be free, we can have human rights, we can have our own freedom, we can have our own sovereignty. But when we talk about Nigeria, we just have to remember that it was the British that colonized Nigeria. You know, there was a lot of slave trade that took place for over 500 years. Many Africans were shipped out, they were moved out of Africa, you know, for slave trade. And today, if you think that, you know, the UK government is just going to allow Nigeria to fall apart and break, it's not going to happen straight away. They're not going to allow it. We must continue to tell them the reasons why we don't want to be part of what was created. The British created Nigeria in 1914 by joining the Yoruba people, the Igbo people, the Hausa people together into this contraction they call Nigeria. And after 110 years, Nigeria is only 110 years as at January 1st, which is just less than 48 hours ago. What has been the changes? Nothing more than killings, maiming, nothing more than a lot of problems. I'll be talking about the, you know, the 2014 confab. Let's allow the helicopter, you know, that is flying overhead to go through. But let me also remind you what is happening presently in Plateau State. We played the video yesterday. I'm going to play the video again this morning, and let us listen to this video.
Do you know that most of these places that are under attack in northern Nigeria have some of the biggest natural resources underneath the ground? And the trading of those natural resources are going on while people are being killed in those communities. Do you know?
I don't know.
Now let me bring you up to speed.
Bring us up to speed.
If you realize, some of the most fertile lands in northern Nigeria are the ones that are being attacked. Most of our fresh, beautiful vegetables and fruits come from Plateau State. Do you know what is underneath those beautiful fertile lands?
We don't know. Tell us.
It is also solid minerals.
Solid minerals.
For some of you who
so the reason why there's a lot of killings happening in the northern part of Nigeria today is because there's a solid minerals underneath. And who are those behind these solid minerals? According to the Minister of the Mineral Resources, Dele Alake, said, and I quote, that the people that are well to know are the one creating terrorism in Nigeria, and they are also the one funding the banditry that is happening presently in Nigeria. What do we do then? Do we all sit back and do nothing? Thank you so much, Babawa Kendi Useni Eshegoni. Thank you so much, and we appreciate your, you know, your support. Let's listen more again.
While miners are mining those lands, how can you raise down an entire village? Bring it down to ashes, evacuate everybody there, and go behind their backs to go and be mining their gold. How wicked can you be? Do you know that it's also affecting not only our economy, but also the food supply for the common man who cannot afford to eat? I'm a farmer. Yes, I'm an agri-entrepreneur. I deal with grain. And the rate at which food is going to be scarce in 2024, you are not ready for it. Things that we buy for as low as 20,000 when they are in surplus, we bought this year for 80,000 naira when it was in surplus. You are not ready for it. For us who do food storage business, we know exactly what you are saying. Ask anybody who is into farming. Underneath all of this madness, this crisis of insecurity, is a major business of natural resource buying and selling. Illegal. Zamfara has gold.
Zamfara has gold.
Gold is traded while people are killed and evacuated from their villages. They would rather pursue you because of insecurity and go and dig your land to take out gold and take out tin and take out other minerals. Yes, that's what's happening in northern Nigeria. They attack people using insecurity as a blanket and a facade.
Okay.
Chase people out of their communities.
Okay.
And go behind their backs.
Okay.
To steal their natural resources.
Okay.
Those are the kinds of leaders we have in northern Nigeria.
Okay.
You are wicked people,
okay.
and you have blood on your hands, okay. and you're going to be judged for it.
Okay.
You are taking blood money, and you die a bad death.
Okay.
Northern Nigerian leader, Allah Yahisa.
Allah Yahisa.
You trade your people for your pockets, the resources.
They are trading their people just like the Yoruba politicians are doing the same thing. Shout out to you, Easy Dollar, all the way right here, number 10 Downing Street. Shout out to you, my brother.
And people are suffering and dying every day.
People are suffering and dying every day.
And they believe that you are there for their best interest.
Okay.
As serious we are. We are getting there. Northern Nigeria. Feel like we go change parade.
Okay.
It's like we're going to do another. We're going to change tax. Taxes. This one no they work. This will not go green. This German. Solidarity. It's not working.
German solidarity is not working.
How many times has protest worked in Nigeria?
Okay.
Everybody stands for themselves. Guard your community.
Grab your community. Protect your community.
Let me tell you something. Nigerian government doesn't give a rat as what happened to any
Nigerian government doesn't give a rat what happened to you.
At first, you would think, oh, it is insecurity. Oh, it's Fulani herdsmen. But are Fulani herdsmen more powerful than the Nigerian military?
Did you hear? Let me pause that bit. Are we saying that the Nigerian military, the Fulani terrorists, are powerful than them? Why have they not been eliminated? Why have they not been killed? What is going on in Nigeria? Should we all keep quiet and many people will lose their life because some of us refuse to speak out? Or should we start talking and asking questions upon questions to reason why so many things is going wrong in Nigeria? What do we need to do? Do we just all sit and do nothing?